nice and quiet. Well, we're going to try to fix that. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for coming. We really, really appreciate your being here tonight. So it's a chance for you to participate in Trilogy Troubadours, Hanukkah, and Christmas concert. That's why we call it Holiday Magic. It's our pleasure to offer you the sounds of this joyous season. My name is Don Paisley, and I'm going to be your host for tonight. But there are many others that have spent a great deal of time putting this together. First, there are our musical directors and founding members who select the songs and share the responsibilities to direct them. Here's Kathy Guinness. Surprise, surprise. And Linda Wells. They're both our musical directors. Now, our third founding member is Jen Crawford. How many tickets are free for you guys, huh? Jen Crawford is also our rehearsal pianist, and she's our chief humorist. It's her responsibility to pound out every note over and over again until we can hear them, even without the piano. It's a daunting challenge. There's no time to introduce all of the choir, but everyone's spent a lot of hours preparing for this performance. Now, we thank you for taking time out of your day and for your $5 contribution. Thank you. Now, I don't know, it was pointed out to me at the afternoon performance that if you go to My Trilogy Life, that they have a note on there that says that this show is complimentary. We didn't do that, that's shade. It's a little marketing technique I've seen them use before. It's complimentary until you get to the desk. And then there's this $5 contribution. Well, all of your contributions will be used to support nonprofits that use music to enrich the lives of children in the Phoenix area. The Phoenix Children's Choir. So tonight you are supporting the Phoenix Children's Choir and Rosie's House. They'll be the beneficiaries of your donations. Two great organizations for kids. We don't need the funding because we're funded by the Trilogy players. So every time you go attend a show, a musical production or one of their scripted shows, you're supporting the Troubadours at the same time. So do continue to support them, and thank you for being here. Our first number was originally released in 1963 and was sung by Darlene Love. Isn't that a great name, Darlene Love? It was an immediate hit and became the signature tune for her. Now, you remember the Late Show with David Letterman? I'm sure you remember that. It became a tradition to have Darlene Love sing Christmas, Baby Please Come Home on the last show before Christmas. Again, on the Letterman Show. And she did it for 29 years. Now, if you're having trouble placing Darlene Love, try to remember the actress who played Danny Glover's wife on all 4 of the Lethal Weapon movies. That's Darlene Love. And this is Christmas, Baby Please Come Home. we have a new Christmas song published for the first time in 2018. It's really a beautiful tune. It's called A Christmas Melody. Now this is an original song that references classic Christmas carols in both the text and in the piano accompaniment. So it sounds like a song that's been around for a long time. I mean, you can feel the nostalgia even though the song's only a year old. Listen to the combination of the old and the new as the Troubadours present A Christmas Melody. Like many Christmas songs, An early melody is repurposed with new lyrics. And that's exactly the case for one of the most ubiquitous of Christmas songs, Carol of the Bells. Carol of the Bells was written in 1916 by a Ukrainian composer and was titled Shedrik. Well, the lyrics had nothing to do with Christmas. Instead, it was a winter well-wishing song sung by young girls going door to door, singing of the plentiful year that the family will have. In return, the families offered the girls pastries and sweet treats. Well, it sounds like a good idea. You should try it around Trilogy. Sing about how your neighbors are going to be prosperous and maybe they'll give you cookies and maybe not. The song was first performed in the U.S. in 1921, but it wasn't until 1931 that a choir director noticed that the four-note melody reminded him of bells. So he wrote new lyrics, mentioning silver bells and Christmas. Soon, Carol of the Bells became a staple of the Christmas season. Dozens of versions of the songs are available today. Most are performed a cappella by choirs and groups like Pentatonics. Here's our version of Carol of the Bells. So we need a little time to cover while the choir sits down. Boy, they're slow. You know, during rehearsals, we rehearse at Lee's house. He's got a great big living room, and he has a baby grand piano, and we can put 30 people in there and sound equipment. But the one thing that he has that we really don't need is a grandfather clock. So every quarter of an hour and then on the hour, bong, bong. So the rule is that we don't sing when the grandfather's clock strikes. So that's where our chief humorist, Jan, comes into play. She provides, well, I'm going to show you what she provides. So imagine this, bong, bong, bong. So what do you call a scary looking reindeer? A caribou. A caribou. So what do you call, what would a reindeer do if it's lost its tail? It would go to the retail shop and get a new one. Why did the gingerbread man go to the doctor? Because he was feeling crummy. All right, I'll slow down. Jam is merciless. I'm telling you, they just keep coming. Well, let's go to the right page here. This will be better. Mary, Did You Know has been recorded by hundreds of artists since the lyrics were first written in 1984, and the music was actually written in 1991. The lyricist began by thinking about what it would be like to sit down and have a conversation with Mary, and he presented his ideas in a script for his church. The musics and the recordings came later, and different versions have reached the top 10 of the Billboard Top 100, the R&B charts, as well as the holiday charts. Here is Jerry Clements with the simple yet very beautiful, Mary, Did You Know?
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would someday walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy would come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you've kissed your little baby, then you've kissed the face of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nation? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? This sleeping child is the great I am.
That was great, Jerry. At the end of 1843, a very famous church organ in France had been destroyed, but had been recently renovated. The parish priest asked a local wine merchant and part-time poet to write a Christmas poem to commemorate the newly restored organ. Soon after the poem was written, The music was added, and the poem resulted in the soaring Christmas carol, O Holy Night. The song reflects on the birth of Jesus and humanity's redemption. The song is a real vocal challenge, and it was sung at the christening of the renovated organ by the leading opera star of the time. So close your eyes and listen to the power of that night as Jerry Clements and Janet June sing, O Holy Night.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
Long lay the world, its sin and error pining, till he appeared, and the soul felt its worth.
A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices.
For yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love.
And his gospel is peace. Chain shall he break, for the slave is a brother.
And in his name all oppression shall cease.
Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, that all within us praise his holy name.
Christ is the Lord. Then ever praise we his power and glory. Evermore proclaim his power and
Thank you. You know, if I could get a little time with those two, I could teach them to sing. No, they're an incredible duet. Now, from the heights of majesty to a little less rarefied atmosphere, we are going to move on to I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Do you know this song? Because it dates back to 1953. And that time it was sung by 10-year-old Gayla Peavy from Oklahoma City. Amazingly, the song rocketed to number 24 on the pop charts, and Peavy performed the song on Ed Sullivan's show. Now, a local promoter in Oklahoma City thought it would be fun if everybody got together and gathered enough money to buy a hippopotamus for this young girl for Christmas. And they did. They put together thousands of dollars, bought a hippopotamus. Hippopotamus was named Matilda, and Peavy donated the hippopotamus to the Oklahoma Zoo. Well, the hippopotamus lived 50 years. And so the zoo decided to replace it with a rare pygmy hippopotamus. And who was there to greet the hippopotamus? Miss Peavy. She was now 74 years old, and here she was to welcome the new hippopotamus to the Oklahoma City Zoo. So here we have the three altos, Sherry Hollerman, Carolyn Stang, Linda Wells, singing, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
We want a hippopotamus for Christmas. A happy hippopotamus will do. Don't want a doll, no dinky tinker toy. We want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy. We want a hippopotamus for Christmas. We don't think Santa Claus will mind you. Oh no! He won't have to use our dirty chimney flue. Just bring him through the front door, that's the easy thing to do. We can see us now on Christmas morning, creeping down the stairs. Oh, what joy, what surprise, when we open up our eyes and see our hippo hero standing there. We want a hippopotamus for Christmas, only a hippopotamus will do. No crocodiles or rhinoceroses, we only like hippopotamuses, and hippopotamuses like us too. We want a hippopotamus for Christmas, hippopotamus is all we want. Kathy says a hippo will eat us up and then, and Linda says a hippo is a vegetarian. Hippopotamus for Christmas, when we saw that summer at the zoo. Don't tell the HOA, he's in our big garage. We'll feed him there and wash him there and give him his massage. We can see us now on Christmas morning, creeping down the stairs. Oh, what joy, what surprise, when we open up our eyes and see our hippo hero standing there. We want a hippopotamus for Christmas, only a hippopotamus will do. No kangaroos, no platypuses, we only like hippopotamuses, and hippopotamuses like us too.
Hippopotamuses. 1953, and I see a young lady here mouthing the words to the song. Doesn't get any better. When was the last time you heard that song? 1954? That's a lot of fun. We have to cover for a few moments as the choir returns to the stage. So, what did the dog breeder get when she crossed an Irish setter with a pointer at Christmas time? a poinsettia. All right. If you're good to me, I'll slow down on these. Well, there was a story about the guy who bought his wife an incredible diamond. It was a 5-carat diamond ring. He was showing it off to his friend, and his friend says, "Man, that is one spectacular diamond." He said, "But I thought your wife really wanted to get a 4-wheel drive vehicle." And the husband says, "Well, she did, but where was I going to find a fake Jeep?" Hey, you're not punishing me, you're punishing Jan. Jan is the one that comes up with these things. I'm just a messenger. Hanukkah is celebrated with some of the most beautiful and interesting music of the season. Ocho Candelitas, which means 8 little candles, is a Ladino song, Ladino song, celebrating the holiday. While the song is sung in Ladino, which is an old Spanish-derived language associated with Sephardic Jewish community, the song was actually written in 1983. In an Argentine tango rhythm, the song celebrates a child's joy in lighting the candles of the menorah. By the end of this song, I guarantee you that you will not forget how much fun it can be to light 8 little candles. Please note that we really do know how to count in Spanish, but the song is written in a kind of archaic Spanish with the different words. So, Ocho Candelicas. Kathy is a giant among directors, so don't want you that little stand to confuse you. Hanukkah music includes some of the most lyrical and also the most expressive songs of the season. Some are written by our most prolific composers. How many of you are familiar with the musical Wicked? Sure. How about Pippin? A Godspell. How many of you know We Are Lights? Well, they're all written by Stephen Schwartz. He wrote We Are Lights to remind us that by lighting the menorah, we carry on traditions and memories that make each of us torchbearers to the world. So listen to the flowing lyricism as the Troubadours present We Are Lights. Yeah, I know that it looks easy. Pulling that little candle out of your pocket, flipping the switch, trying to hold on to your book and raise it all on the same count. It's not for the weak-hearted. It took Carl. We spent a week with Carl. 2 days we're just learning how to get it out of his pocket. And Then he holds it up and he has his fingers wrapped around the flames. Carl, it's supposed to be hot. Anyway. Our next number went to number 1 on Billboard's Christmas singles chart back in 1970. Some of you were around then. Sung by Karen and Richard Carpenter, Merry Christmas Darling became one of their greatest hits. Richard Carpenter wrote the music, and his choral director from when he attended Long Beach State College wrote the lyrics. The Carpenters had a close connection with Long Beach State and returned for benefit concerts where they would always perform Merry Christmas Darling. Here is Joni Drumright singing Merry Christmas Darling.
Greeting cards have all been sent. Christmas rushes through. I still have one wish to make, a special one for you. Merry Christmas, darling. We're apart, that's true, but I can dream, and in my dreams I'm Christmasing with you. Holidays are joyful, there's always something new, but every day's a holiday when I'm with you. Oh, the lights on my tree, I wish you could see, I wish it every day. The logs on the fire fill me with desire to see you and to say that I wish you Merry Christmas. Happy New Year too. I've just one wish on this Christmas Eve. I wish I were with you. Logs on the fire fill me with desire to see you and to say that I wish you Merry Christmas. Happy New Year too. I've just one wish on this Christmas Eve. I wish I were with you. I wish I were with you. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, darling.
Very nice. Dave, it must be nice to have a wife who sings songs like that to you. We should all be so lucky. There was a fellow back in the 1950s, a fellow by the name of Jester Hairston. He was sharing a room with a fellow who asked him if he would write a birthday song for yet another friend. The people at the birthday party would most likely be West Indians, so he wrote a tune with a calypso rhythm. The song was never published. Years later, he was asked to write a Christmas song for a Hollywood choir. Well, Jester pulled out his old birthday party tune and rewrote the lyrics. The result was Mary's Boy Child, which was performed by the Hollywood choir. Now, who should see this performance but a promising young singer named Harry Belafonte, who went on to record the song on several of his albums. Well, Harry's now 93, still alive. We invited him for tonight, but he couldn't make it. So we looked around, and there was Howard. and he had a guitar, and he was pretty handy with it. So anyway, here's Howard Posner with Mary's Little Child.
A long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King born today, and men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. While shepherds watch their flocks by night, they see a bright new shining star. They hear a choir of angels sing, the music seemed to come from afar. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King born today, and men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Now Joseph and his wife Mary come to Bethlehem that night. They find no place to born the child, not a single room was in sight. By and by they find a little nook in a stable all forlorn, and in a manger cold and dark, Mary's little baby was born. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King born today, and men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. A long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new King born today, and men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Trumpets sound and angels sing, listen to what they say, that men will live forevermore because of Christmas Day.
Well, that's Howard's first solo with the group. What do you think? Harry Belafonte, eat your heart out. We've got Howard Posner. Like Stephen Schwartz, the fellow we talked about earlier, who did the beautiful song "We Are Lights." The musical theater composer Frank Lesser also wrote what we now use as Christmas music. He wrote a lot of stand-alone songs as well as musical theater. Are you familiar with How to Succeed in Business? How about The Most Happy Fellow? And then there's my favorite, Guys and Dolls. Got a horse right here, his name is Paul. He also wrote a romantic tune of a lover trying to convince his girl not to leave by reminding her that it's cold outside. It's too cold to leave. The song was attacked as an illustration of a man pressuring a woman to leave her common sense behind and submit to the man's advances. Nothing could be further from the truth. It was written in 1944 for a husband and wife. You know, they were entertainers, and so when they had people over to their homes at the Christmas season, they were expected to entertain their guests with a little song. So tonight we have another husband and wife duo, Janet and Pete June, and they're going to be performing for you, Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Cold outside.
Got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
hoping that you drive in.
Very nice.
I'll hold your hand. It's just like
my mother will start to worry. My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen, that fireplace.
So really, I'd better scurry. Well, maybe just have a drink more. The neighbors might think
maybe it's bad out there.
Say, what's in this drink?
No cats to be had out there.
I wish I knew how to break the spell. Why, thank you. I ought to say no, 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 sir. At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of my pride?
Really can't stay.
Baby, don't look up. Baby, it's cold outside.
You're very pushy, you know.
I like to think of it as opportunistic.
I simply must go.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The welcome has been
how lucky that you dropped
stuck
in.
Nice and warm.
Look out the window.
My sister will be suspicious. My brother will be there at the door. My maiden aunt's mind is vicious. Well, maybe just a cigarette more. And I don't even smoke. I gotta go home. Say, lend me your coat.
It's up your knees out there.
You've really been grand. Why don't you see?
How can you do this thing to me?
It's bound to be talk tomorrow. At least there will be plenty in life.
And I
really can't stay. Baby, it's cold. Baby, it's cold outside. Okay, fine. Just another drink then.
Well, that was interesting.
What fun. Now, if you were offended by that, go someplace else, okay? Okay, what do I hear? Oh, I hear bong, bong. But it's the clock. It's the grandfather clock. So what do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire? Frostbite. What's the difference between a Christmas alphabet and an ordinary alphabet? Noel. Why couldn't the skeleton go to the Christmas party? He had no body to go with. What do you call somebody who can't stop thinking about Christmas? Sentimental. All right. If you're nice to me, I'll quit. That's a way to get a round of applause. All right. We're all in place. Go Tell It on the Mountain is an African-American spiritual that celebrates the birth of Christ. It calls us to do the most natural thing in the world, to spread the news about something wonderful that we have found. That wonderful thing, of course, is the birth of Christ. Amen is a spiritual that was passed down for generations until it was rewritten for use in the movie Lilies of the Field with Sidney Poitier in 1963. It was then recorded by Curtis Mayfield, Otis Redding, and dozens of others. Our version combines these two spirituals into an arrangement put together by Mary McDonald. So, feel the Spirit with Amen, Tell It on the Mountain. Well, before our final number, and thank you, by the way, for not clapping when I mentioned our final number. I'd like to thank our sound guy, Tony B. So, if there's anything you couldn't hear during tonight's performance, it's Tony B. Here's a bit of trivia leading into that final number. What do Fleetwood Mac's guitarist, Lindsey Buckingham, and the 1983 film National Lampoon's Vacation have in common? Now that's a tough one. The answer is Holiday Road. Buckingham wrote it, and the song was featured in National Lampoon's European Vacation, Vegas Vacation, and just Vacation, Vacation. The song screamed to the top of the charts. Well, at least it got to number 82 on the Billboard Top 100, so that means there were 18 that didn't get that high. But it's still the most recognizable music from the Vacation film franchise. And now, the Troubadours present Holiday Road of Carols. Thanks again for spending your evening with us. We hope that we made your day a little brighter. You are adding to the musical experience of many children in the Phoenix area. So from all of the Troubadours, have a happy Hanukkah and a very, very Merry Christmas. The Troubadours. Good evening, everybody. That's it. There's nothing more. No more.
away.